Yes.
Welcome to Pretty In Noise. This is mega hardcore.
No, wait.
All right. I'm Khan.
Wait, did we start already?
No, we didn't. Are you happy with us starting now?
Yes, absolutely. I will not edit anything with this.
All right, I think you're watching something called Pretty In Noise. We are AC4 from Sweden. My name is Dennis.
I'm Khan.
And I'm Christopher.
No! 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 Why you gonna back down? No! Why you gonna back down? No! Why you gonna back down? No! Why you gonna bow down? No! This brother, and even a friend, what are you thinking? Let us live for you the final time. Let us bleed for the thing as judgment. I can see the enemies without a reason. We're back down, we're back down. No! We're back down, we're back down. No! Thanks for the nobody will have mercy. It's forgiveness, what's been wasting our time. Well, sinners, all come down, better find. Turn it up, wow, I'll turn around. We're back down, we're back down. No! We're back down, we're back down. No! We're back down, we're back down. No! We're back down, we're back down. No!
Is there a way to overthrow capitalism collectively, or does each of us have to find their way out of capitalism and out of peace like that?
I mean, first of all, I think there's nothing, right now there's nothing other than capitalism. Like, no matter what you do, you're going to be part of the monetary capitalist system, and that's just the way it is. I mean, I think what you have to do is choose how you want to live your life and what you want to accomplish with your life and what you think is important. If you think it's important to make money, to have a steady job, to, then if that's what you think is important, that we just should do. But then there's people like us, like we always, there are other values in life that are more important, just to play music and to, express yourself and just kind of live by your own rules. I think that's more important. As far as overthrowing capitalism, I think that
That ship has sailed.
I think that ship kind of has sailed. I think we're going towards sort of a post-apocalyptic society where we have to reevaluate the kind of economical and cultural system that we have. But I mean, playing in a band is not going to overthrow capitalism. And getting together in a union might benefit your union or your profession, but I don't think it's going to shake the foundation of capitalism. I think the important thing is to decide how you want to live your life. We only have a short, period of time to be here. And do you want to live your life licking someone else's boots, or do you want to do what you want to do and how you want to do it? And I think we always live by the way, just life is short. Just fucking go and do it. Like, don't let anyone else dictate how you should live your life or.
That's not even a political statement.
No,
it's just that you choose your way of life, and if you're not interested in it, if you're primarily not interested in making money, then you're interested in making music or art or whatever, then that's it. I
think that's the important thing.
It's just
and if you're interested
a life choice more than a political choice.
Exactly. But if you're interested in politics and you want to kind of, then you should, if you're really interested in changing stuff, you should,
probably be a politician and not a guitarist in a punk band.
And not a guitarist in a punk band. That's just, that's a cool thing for us too, because it's like, we all have political ideas and we have a lot of songs are very political.
Well,
but the thing is that you play in a band so you can sort of exaggerate. You can say shit that a politician could never say, because we have the poetic sort of freedom to do so. We can say, kind of crazy stuff, because music is always supposed to be more, a punch in the stomach and not so much maybe, like a...
Not a pamphlet.
Not a pamphlet or a a levered argument. It should be just a fucking punch in the stomach. And that's music we grew up with. A lot of like the political ideas we got, they're very basic and primer. So...
But we tend to, we tend to find faults with politicians rather than finding solutions for political
I mean,
problems.
politics in our type of music is always very black and white. It's not a lot of gray zones.
It has a lot of fuck you, you make me wanna puke.
Yeah. And you're never gonna achieve world peace by saying that at a world summit.
No, we're never gonna be invited to World Summit ever. That's just the fact.
Yeah.
Gotta scream! Down! We're that corrosion!
One of the central point phrases is one of the phrases that you are most famous for globally is "Can I scream?" My 70-year-old grandmother would like to ask you, why do you want to scream?
Because if you grow up and you're always feeling like an outsider and always like a freak, and you're a person like me or Carl or Chris, you grow up and you always feel like there's something wrong with everything. And I was horrible at school. I couldn't get it. I mean, I didn't want to study, and I never saw myself getting a job where I could influence anything. So for us, like, punk rock was like the ultimate form of expression, because it made us, we could be angry, we could be pissed off, we could be super weird, and we could have our voices heard. When I grew up, I never thought that anyone would ever listen to anything I had to say. Like, a working class kid, you're like, I'm just gonna grow up a nobody, I'm gonna work at some dead-end job, and that's gonna be life. And then we discovered punk rock, so that's, I mean, it was not so, I mean, yeah, can I scream? But it's more of a, like, we should rephrase it and say, I can scream. And that's one of the coolest things about punk rock, that you can express yourself, and it gave us a voice, to do something with our lives. It took me far away from where I grew up, not so much in where I live, but mentally it made me really, like, just close off from everything that I was taught and everything that I was supposed to be, and I just made me into a completely different person.
So I'm more curious to why doesn't everybody want to scream?
Yeah.
So can you ask your grandmother why doesn't she want to scream?
Yeah.
Smart.
And the answer is yes, she can.
Exactly.
Yeah. He wants to show off his Lickers t-shirt. So.
Now it's done. Now we're...
Presume.
Oh! Dankeschön. So, we've been on tour for a week now, and we ended up playing a couple of festivals, which can be fun. We played something called the Monster Bash in Munich and Berlin, and then we played a festival called Großrock in Belgium, and it was fun. It's good times, but it's good to come to a place like this. There's like a Minor Threat hoodie over there. There's a Circle Jerks t-shirt over there. It's not only Millencolin merchandise.
Yeah, and we get to play with a hardcore band.
Yeah, we got to play with a hardcore band. Because, I mean, I like the Millencolin guys. They're friends of mine since, like, I remember, this is a true story. They were on a label called Burning Heart Records. Do you remember that label? So some of you, yeah, okay. You have all the records. What are you talking about? The No Fun catalog. I love it. That's what you're saying, not me. Yeah, sorry. Anyway, the boss of Burning Heart Records called me up when Millencolin released their first demo, and he called me. He's like, Dennis, what about these Millencolin? And this is what I told him: don't sign them. No one's gonna care about that band. 20 years later, AC4 is playing in front of a wall of Millencolin t-shirts, and I'm like, what the fuck happened? And so I'm glad to see that you know what I'm talking about. And I was just gonna say, it's nice to be here at a real punk rock show, and if we would say, fuck Thatcher, everyone like, yeah, fuck Thatcher. If we would say that in front of Millencolin's crowd, they would be like, who is Thatcher? So this is a song, it's called Where Are the Kids? They're at the Millencolin show, having a great time. The old people are all here, talking to madmen from Sweden, talking bullshit. Come on.
We're to the front, we're to the blood, all generation, we're not destroyed. We're strong, we're in it, now what's left of return? We're all kids, we're all kids, we're all kids, we're all the kids. Wow! to the corner, right to the back, to the mouth, got to the back. Where is the way? Take us down. Need something in. Come around. Where are the kids? 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 Where are the kids right now? Seems like we're going. Wow!
It's not up to us to define, you know, the state of hardcore punk rock today. I mean, it's
We do our part.
yeah, we do what we do. I mean, we're old school people. We play old school hardcore the way, you know, the way we grew up with it and the way we always done it. So it's not like if people want to do it differently, sound differently. If they want to do huge like skate punk festivals all over the world, it's not really, you know, we don't really care. We just do our
Certainly
thing.
isn't a problem.
Yeah. So, I mean, we wish there were more bands that kind of sound like us and sang songs about, you know, the system.
Yeah.
But you know, it's all right.
Yeah, let's,
We don't think of other bands as our enemies, you know. it's everybody's doing their thing, hopefully because they like it, and
Yeah.
then we're fine with that. Yeah.
not even about Green Day.
No,
Green
I mean-
is not the enemy.
no, Green is not the enemy. I mean, that's
Thatcher is the enemy.
yeah. I mean, you know, the Pope is the enemy,
Yeah.
and a lot of politicians, they're the enemies, not the other bands.
No,
We're fine with any band.
we like. I mean, I can't-
We usually get along with any band that plays electric guitar.
yeah,
It,
yeah.
but once you
But,
meet
but
them,
if they have synthesizers,
yeah,
that's
that's it. But, you know, the usual sort of, if you're backstage at a festival, almost every band are like really
Yeah.
nice people you get along really fine, even if they play something, you know, completely
Angela
different.
Merkler, is that her name? She's the enemy.
Yeah. Yeah, she's the enemy.
She's the enemy.
I wanna go!
What kind of bands did you grow up with? What kind of bands shaped your political attitude?
To me, it was like the early UK, like the UK '82 stuff, and the British, the early '80s.
Early British punk rock for
Yeah.
Carl, and I mean, I grew up with, you know, bands like the Dead Kennedys and
Yeah, the
Mind Threat and that kind of stuff. And
Discharge.
Dead Kennedys was super important for me. They're like the first band that I listened to that talked about politics in a way that I could sort of understand what they were talking about. And I think for me, I grew up in a small town and I felt like a freak, basically. And so I was drawn to music that was made by other freaks. But I always thought that I'm like the crazy person because I don't fit in the world. And then, I mean, a band that, like the Kennedys told me that you're not the crazy person. Like the world is fucked up and crazy. I mean, yeah, you are crazy, but it's a good thing to be crazy. And so Dead Kennedys was really important for me. They were like the band that made me get into politics,
I
basically.
think they were really important to.
Yeah.
They were really big in Europe. As,
Yeah.
and
And
very
they were an
important to-
intelligent. I mean, a lot of the like the stuff we talked about, like the slogans and the kind of black and white, and a lot of that stuff works on a more basic level. But a band like the Dead Kennedys, they were actually intelligent, and they had the big posters in the records. And
They also had
Yeah.
a good sense of humor about
Yeah.
it, which made it sort of less preachy and more enjoyable.
so,
To me also, since I'm a lot younger than these old fucks, is that when I grew up in the Umeå hardcore scene, like the local scene meant a lot to me. Buying the demos, like I mean, the first Refuse demo, stuff like that was some of the first hardcore that I heard. Besides the American stuff. So I mean, I guess that early, very childish way of politics and just kind of, you know, kind of formed my political view and stuff. Which was very black and white. It was just boycott McDonald's, fuck society, kind of.
yeah, it's not bad politics.
No, it's not bad
Still
politics.
hold
It's
up
just it's like I said, not many political not many gray zones.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, but you can summarize our politics in fuck society.
Yeah. What is a hipster?
Oh,
He knows.
We don't know. I know a lot of hipsters.
You live in Stockholm.
I live in
I think
Stockholm.
people actually call you a hipster.
People in the punk scene who hate me, they consider me a hipster.
Why is that?
I have no idea because I hang out with hipsters, I guess.
I think
The definition of the hipster is
Yes.
someone who's always first with the latest, who like they discover something and they consider themselves avant-garde and like a spearheading culture,
cutting edge, I guess.
cutting edge, and they discover something, and then when the rest of the crowd discovers the same thing, they abandon it and move on to the next thing because they always want to be first with the latest shit.
yeah.
And I think that's a
That definitely excludes all of us from being hipsters. We have no idea what's going on.
I'm sitting here in my Motorhead t-shirt.
But the funny thing about subcultures, like you said, emo, is that recently the police force in Manchester in the UK has started to regard crimes against subcultures as a hate crime. So if someone gets killed because they're an emo, it's considered a hate crime, as the same as someone being killed because they're black or homosexual. And I don't know. I just wanted to say that.
Makes it harder.
Yeah.
Makes our work harder.
So killing hipsters isn't as easy as it used to be.
That took a turn.
But you knew it would. It always does, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Last but not least, do you have any? You said we live in a post-apocalyptic society.
Well, it's coming up.
I think everyone who's 18 right now knows that. Maybe not on a conscious level, but they feel that.
Yeah.
Do you have any words of hope or encouragement at the end of the interview for
Yeah.
our fellow
Learn-
musicians?
No, just learn to
Drive a
survive and learn to
Drive a tank.
learn to shoot and
stockpile ammunitions.
start building bunkers and just
I'm just gonna sit over here.
start building bunkers and just building up supplies of weapons, ammunition, and canned food,
Yeah.
and just
And
and prepare for the like Thunderdome society which is coming.
yeah.
Mad Max is gonna be all over our asses anytime soon.
We hope. Is that it? Yeah, right, thank you.
All right. Spreading the joy.
Great note to it. Thanks, man. It was fun.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Thank
Good
you.
luck with the documentary.
Good luck editing.
Thanks, guys.
Gotta put you to the same, gotta put you in the face, gotta put you to the same, gotta put you in the face. The side you couldn't do, let you bring it. That's what it takes to come and fuck from the Lord. Gotta put you to the same, gotta put you in the face, gotta put you to the same, gotta put you in the face. The side you couldn't do, let you bring it. That's what it takes to come and fuck from the Lord. Stop long, stop long, stop long, stop long. Drop down! I have a feeling
Ah, feedback.